J.D. Williams.
All right, the ball at the 9. First down and goal. Williams. Into some traffic. He did a good job of trying to use his line as setup man, but he just ran into too much traffic. He picked up, oh, it looks like about 3. It'll be second down and goal from the 8.
This is about the 4th time this game the Hersey defense has had their backs to the walls, and only once have they allowed a score. Looks like Palatine's going to be able to do it this time, but if Hersey can come up with a stop here, that would really frustrate the guys in the white jerseys.
Saunders, who caught the lone touchdown pass, is wide right here. Movement on the line. Now the right tackle, that was Chris Laggiola, moved, and we'll have to see if he was drawn offside or whether he just jumped.
Chris will become a familiar name for the Palatine Pirate fans, only a sophomore, and he starts on that offensive line. 6'1", 250 pounds, pretty good size for a sophomore.
Well, they've got 4 sophomores, about as many as you'll see at the varsity level. Usually teams will have no more than 2. To have 4 is unusual.
They really sprint to the line out of that huddle.
Second and 13. Second and goal from the 13 for the Pirates. Williams, nice hole.
And a pretty good hit.
A few of it back. Carlo Areno, the linebacker. Boy, he had a great game on our TCI telecast a few weeks ago, and kind of quiet, but he's out there.
Carlo Areno is the spirited, fired up leader of the Hersey defense. And get a look at J.D. Williams here. Good line blocking. Looks like he's going to really get a head of steam going, and then right here, boom. Pretty solid tackle, and he's not able to get in.
Third and goal from the 9. Again, Saunders is wide right. Behind Kretschmer, Heklinski with the taped ankle. The air. That's complete. Very close.
No
Taylor
signal.
Bechtold with the reception, and no indication given as of yet, but he'll be close.
Again, Heklinski bullets the ball, and Bechtold able to make the catch, waiting for the signal from the ref, but there was none. And we got a big 4th down play. How many of these do we have in the first half?
4th and goal from inside the 1.
Interesting call coming up now. You send J.D. Williams into the line behind his blocking back, Lloyd Brown, or let Heklinski work his short passing magic. Only 1 receiver split out.
Full house backfield is the formation they started the game with, and they ran Williams on this play. And that's where they go to Williams. And
they
he
stopped
stopped short. The defense holds him.
Great defensive play. I think it was number 52 again, Carlo Areno. You can see the players fired up on the sidelines. An incredible goal line stand for Hersey. And again, Palatine comes up empty. The fans level will get another look. J.D. Williams, you can see the blocker ahead of him. Just great defensive play. Also, number 48, Nate Hersey, in on the tackle. Wow.
Well, they will share that tackle, and they ran the first play of scrimmage, and they stopped them on that play, so they will get it inside the 1-yard line. Trail by 7. 7-0 the Pirates lead here. On downs, Hersey taking over. Messer across the 5 to about the 8-yard line. That is Jim Messer's best run of the evening, and it couldn't come at a more crucial time in the game.
Boy, and you got that right, Bert. He was almost stopped right back at that same spot, and they're worried about the safety right now. But Jim Messer does a great job. You'll get a look on the replay here. He gets hit right off the bat. Number 36 for Palatine had him wrapped up. He breaks that tackle, able to pick up big yards. Tony Pervin, 36, the one who had him and then lost him.
2nd and 2, Couts. And Couts is wrapped up, and that was Pervin that made the hit. So he might lose a couple. Couts might lose a couple on that play.
Now they will probably go to some kind of rollout play for Eric Carlson, where he was so effective. Give him the option to pass or to run. Let's see if they sprint him outside. Pretty big play here, though. Hersey would love to pick up a 1st down.
3rd and a yard. They option it to Couts to the outside, and Couts, I think with enough for a first down, he went out around the 15-yard line, and they will move the chains, and the Huskies
pick up a very big first down. Bruce Glover signaling in the plays. I'm not sure what that means. But Eric Carlson really executing the option play to perfection. Excellent ball handling ability. Just flipped that ball out to Couts. A hard play to execute. Well done by Hersey, and they pick up a big first down.
First down and 10. Carlson to the air with time. Screen pass. That's complete to Messer in the flat, and Messer, well, was covered well by the Pirates. Jeff Lorenz making the stop, and the play was set up nicely but covered well.
That's the second consecutive, or not consecutive, but that's the second screen pass that Hersey's attempted. Both have been very unsuccessful. I think part of the problem, Bert, is that Palatine really doesn't respect Carlson's ability to throw the ball downfield, thus the screen pass not really fooling anybody. I think for Hersey really to be successful and to beat the good teams, they're going to need to get some downfield passing out of Eric Carlson.
And John, the Huskies, I think they've done a pretty good job preparing for tonight's game against the Pirates. I think they've showed that they can play with them. The longer the game goes like this, 7-0 score, I think the more confidence they will get. 1st and 10. Correction, that's 18 they need. Carlson to Messer in the flat. Messer, and he's got absolutely nowhere to go. Dave Sobel, two-way player for them, stops him. And he is pinned at about the 8-yard line.
Bruce Glover working a little bit of his offensive magic. He'll need to come up with a trick play here. Tough decision. Do you let your relatively inexperienced junior quarterback drop back and throw it, take the risk of the interception? I think you might have to. Otherwise, Palatine may get the ball back with good field position again. You can only back your defense up so many times. So big 3rd down play right here.
2nd down and 15. Carlson with time, going deep. That's complete. That's Ken Beck. A first down at the 45-yard line.
Beautifully executed. A great pass by Eric Carlson, proving to the Palatine defense that he can throw the ball deep, and a great over-the-shoulder catch by Ken Beck. The fans love it, and the Hersey players beginning to feel they can pull off a big win here. Man, great pass by Eric Carlson here, and Beck, the one speed threat the Huskies have, does get behind the defense.
1st down and 10 at the 44-yard line. Carlson on the option play gets across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. Remember, this started inside their own 1. And after a couple of penalties, too. And we're going to take a look at the pass that Ken Beck caught 2 plays ago, and this was a perfectly thrown ball, and Ken Beck, boy, with a tough catch.
A great pass by that guy right there, number 12, too, Eric Carlson. First time he's really let it go and thrown downfield.
Good end zone look, and boy, that's not an easy grab over the shoulder with coverage in front of you.
Beat Evan Whitehead, number 89.
And back to live coverage, Jim Messer with a straight ahead run inside the 50-yard line into Pirate territory at about the 45. They're going to measure for a first down.
So Hersey about to move the chains again on a good run by Jim Messer. All the while they're controlling the clock and keeping what we thought to be the explosive Palatine offense on the sidelines. It is a first down, and the Hersey confidence gets one more boost up. There again, our matchup for next week, East Suburban Catholic Conference battle, St. Patrick Shamrocks against the upstart, up and coming, I think, 3-game winning streak for the St. Viator Lions. They're 3-2.
And then we'll see Glenbrook South against the Maine South Hawks. That'll be in 2 weeks.
And that game will probably be for the conference championship.
Carlson, a keeper inside the 40, or pardon me, inside the 45 to the 42-yard line. Well, Hersey kind of like a cat with 9 lives tonight, John. They've been in some pretty bad field position throughout most of the night. The Pirates with a good field position the whole night and only a 7-0 lead. We've got under 2 minutes for the third. Jim Couts in motion. And Carlson.
Oh.
Carlson, yeah, he is reacting to the pressure well. He really hasn't thrown, with the exception of the one screen pass that he floated, he hasn't made too many mistakes tonight. In fact, I think that was the only mistake he made tonight, and I think he's reacted well to the Pirate front line.
Well, he does take a beating each game with as
Yes,
many
he
runs
does.
he does. He's taken some hard hits. You got to believe after a while that might affect his passing.
This is 3rd and 3 from the eye.
And a great job by Couts. Look at the way he kept his feet moving. That might be enough for a big first down.
I believe it is.
Again, it looked like he was going to be stopped, but just a great effort. And right now, the intensity and effort and momentum on the side of the brown and orange jerseys. The Hersey Huskies on the move. That was a great effort.
1st and 10 from the 34. Hersey trailing by the score of 7-0. Less than a minute for the third quarter. Slot left, Couts the motion man. Carlson. And incomplete. It was intended for back. The coverage by Bechtold was there. That pass clearly overthrown.
And Kenny Beck did a nice little curl pattern. You see him there, number 4. That time Carlson with just a little 3-step drop just overthrew his receiver. Again, one of the few mistakes Eric has made tonight. Brings us 2nd down and 10, 49 seconds on the clock. So a good portion of this third quarter. Really, we've only had 2 drives, the one Palatine drive and then this one by Hersey. It's a ball control game, exactly the kind that Hersey needed to stay in the ball game.
And again, remember, a very strong wind blowing from the bottom of your screen to the top, from west to east here. That definitely will play a part in tonight's game. Carlson. And he'll be sacked. That was Tom Cater, the junior 6 foot, 205-pound tackle, making the stop, and that'll go as a sack.
And this is a great defensive play here. Good pressure by the white jerseys. Eric Carlson looks for his secondary receiver, and you see Kafer coming in there. Number 51 just shot the middle gap. Great quickness and able to put Carlson down. It's only the 2nd sack, I think, for the game. Lloyd Brown had one in the first series. What do we have, a Hersey timeout here?
Well, timeout was called here.
Yeah, that may be a timeout they're going to need later in the game. I think this is the kind of game you might want to save your timeouts.
We'll have our TCI of Illinois player of the game announcement coming up in the fourth quarter. We still have 22 seconds to go here in the third. Well, on October 16th, TCI will be carrying the tribute to Bob Dylan. That's the pay-per-view concert event. The concert will feature artists like Eric Clapton, Tom Petty, Sinead O'Connor, and several others. For information on that, that's on October 16th. You can call 299-9240, 299-9240. That'll be on October 16th.
When are you going to put a heater up here?
Watch cable previews for highlights of the latest programming on cable television. Join Deborah and Donna for the October show as they talk about the Fisher King, Michael Jackson's concert in Bucharest, and much more. See cable previews every day on the TCI network.
Well done, John. 3rd and 16, back at the 41-yard line. From the eye. Drop play. That's Costello, and Costello got most of it back. That'll bring up 4th and short, and I'm sure they'll go for it here in this situation.
Boy, and a good call and beautifully executed. We've seen 2 great draw plays executed in this first half, one by Palatine. This time Hersey does it. with Ernie Costello picking up good yardage, and it will be 4th and short, so a big call coming up for Hersey.
That'll end the third quarter of play. It's going to be a nail-biter here for the fourth quarter. The Pirates lead Hersey by the score of 7-0. We'll be back. All right, welcome back to Hersey High School. Bert Groner and John Cohn. 7-0. The Pirates on the road here lead Hersey in what has been a turnover-free game, John.
Turnover-free and pretty much big play-free, too. The defenses have been bending, I should say, but not giving up the touchdown. Only 7-0.
This is 4th and 3 for Hersey. Carlson, and he's got a man complete. That's Ken Beck, his second big catch of the evening. He is inbounds, a first down at about the 20-yard line.
And the Huskies doing everything right in this drive. Beautifully executed. Carlson, a little bit of a rollout to his right. Kenny Beck with a beautiful down and out pattern. And the Huskies pick up enough yardage for the first down. They'll keep the clock moving. Kenny Beck having a good game now. The last 2 catches have come in this drive. And look at that average at 29 yards. So he is their one deep threat. Huskies on the move, looking to tie up the game.
A big first down, 1st and 10. Messer went straight ahead behind his center. He was met by Jeremy Gattini, who's been steady this evening at linebacker.
Great line blocking that time by 64 Mike Meyerson, also Pat Ford. We haven't mentioned him for the Huskies. Number 76, the right tackle. Division I college prospect, two-way player for the Huskies, doing a great job on the offensive line.
A gain of 3. Beck is wide left. They're going to put Messer in the slot here, 2nd down and 7. Option play. Carlson with his own number. And Carlson looks like he'll be close to another first down. He gets it inside the 10-yard line.
Looks like he picked it up. Referee signaling first down. Carlson getting up. Injured, though. That could be a big play now if Carlson can't move. Let's get a look at the replay. Again, great blocking by Pat Ford, number 76, and his wide receiver, Nick Treviglio, threw a nice block. But Carlson, if he's hurt, that's going to take away a big part of the Hersey offense.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Costello and Beck to the left here. Loose football. It's going to cost him a down. Carlson fell on it. They fumbled it, and he was fortunate for them to fall on it.
That's the 3rd time tonight Hersey has fumbled the ball, and they've been able to recover all 3 of them. That's been a big part of their success tonight. And Carlson is limping noticeably, number 12. So that might limit the play selection that Bruce Glover can give him. Palatine, you can see on the sidelines, not a very confident-looking team right now. Their defense playing on the backs of their heels.
2nd and goal from the 8. Option play, Carlson. Still going, Carlson, room, touchdown!
Well, the injured ankle didn't bother him too much on that one, as Eric Carlson, a beautifully executed drive for Hersey. Now he starts limping again. Faked the option pass, split the defense, and exploded in the end zone. A great drive for Hersey, and they're 1 point away from tying it up.
Another look at it. There may have been a missed tackle on the play. We'll get a look at it on the replay, and we'll see if one of the Pirates misses a tackle or pitches Carlson.
The fake pitch is what sells this one.
Well, he made a good move on Dan Gurian, and an 8-yard run, and now this is for the tie. It is up, and it is good. So at the 2:06 mark of the 4th quarter, the Hersey Huskies have tied the state-ranked Palatine Pirates at 7.
And I'll tell you what, the Hersey fans came here tonight not expecting what to see. They weren't sure if their team was going to be able to stay in the ball game. Some of them may just come out here to watch the Palatine team play, but right now they believe they can win. You see Bruce Glover firing up his team, and the Huskies are ready to pull the upset.
Well, I think, if anything, John, the 4th quarter, the wind should favor the Hersey Huskies, because Eklinski, a right-handed quarterback, is going to be throwing a crosswind from his left to his right, and that I think it's an edge to Hersey. Watch this move. He makes a cut back toward the inside, right there to elude a tackle. An 8-yard run for Carlson.
Couple of missed tackles, and again, Carlson, who was limping, might have been. He was trying to fake the Palatine team out by coming up from that fumble recovery limping, because he looked pretty good heading into the end zone.
Brad Summers squibbed it. And they finally get it. Todd Kemp on special teams, the tight end, came up with it, and the Pirates
not sure if
will
that
get
was
it at their 32.
That was a little bit longer than an onside quick, a little bit shorter than a squib. There's the very impressive scoring drive by Hersey. 18 plays, 99 yards, 8 minutes and 5 seconds. Bert, in the years we've been doing the games, that might be one of the best drives we have seen, and it came in a pressure situation.
I would agree 100%. First and 10, 33-yard line. The Pirates, for the most part, have had excellent field position to start their drives tonight. Heklinski looking right, throwing it left. It's complete. Wardle, Jeff Wardle, or pardon me, that was Dave Sobel, 32. I thought that was 22. 32 Sobel with the grab and a pickup of 8 on first down.
Well, if Jeff Heklinski is as good as they say, he's going to prove it now in this fourth quarter. He looks pretty good here as he looks off as a receiver and then throws a bullet to Sobel, who makes a nice catch. But this is what the great quarterbacks are able to come. Right now he's fighting against the momentum of Hersey and a strong wind. We'll see if Heklinski can rally the troops.
2nd and 2. And the pitch, J.D. Williams. Williams turning it to the outside across midfield, out of bounds into Husky territory. He went out at the 48-yard line, and that'll be another first down for Palatine.
And I'll tell you what, a touchdown-saving tackle over there on the sidelines by Nate Karasser, who's had an excellent game defensively. Their containment to the outside, not good on that play, and J.D. could have broken this one. You don't see any Hersey players on the outside. It took Nate Karasser, number 48, to come over and make the tackle.
First down and 10, the numbers on J.D. And Heklinski was leveled. Williams on the play there. Had that light pole in front of me, John.
Well, I don't think Eric Carlson was faking it. He's walking in front of us on the Hersey sidelines, and he is definitely limping, so he did something extra for that touchdown. There's a look at the excellent size for Jeff Heklinski. That's what the college scouts look at, 6'4", 198. His brother Jeff, or his brother Randy, I'm sorry, played before him, was also a high school All-American.
Draw play, Williams going nowhere. Bob Milizewski.
And is that Hersey team and defense fired up? Milizewski with the big play. Carlo Arena looking for the signals, but they are really fired up and having a great game. Boy, and you can look back in the first half when Palatine had all that great field position and came away with only 7 points. That's what's costing them right now.
This is 3rd and 9. They send Zobel wide left. Saunders, who caught the touchdown, is to the right. Drop play, Williams, nowhere. Mark Schuler was the first to bump him, and on 4th, it'll bring up 4th down, and that means Hersey will get it back.
And I'd say Mr. Schuler's a little bit excited, having a great game. Only a junior is Mark Schuler. 2 draw plays in a row, and we've been rather quizzed by the play selection and strategy so far by the Palatine team, but either way, they will have to punt and give it back to Eric Carlson and the Hersey offense.
Pat Richards is in to punt. He hasn't punted a lot this year. Oh, he boomed that one. And a nice high kick that's taken by Noss. Noss turning it to the outside. And he was leveled. I mean, leveled. Pat Richards really leveled Noss, and the Hersey Huskies will start deep in their own territory. Looks like they'll spot it about the 14.
Well, the key was he was able to field the ball cleanly. So far, as you mentioned, Bert, a turnover-free game. Very rare in high school. Both offenses executing pretty well. And what do we got, a flag in a play?
I do see a flag out there.
This is against Hersey. That could be a big call. Okay.
No, they had too many men out on the field.
Okay, Palatine, 2:15.
So they're going to have to punt it over.
If there's a play with 12, if you have a, you actually run the play. If you guys punt, is that an automatic first
So they're going to call that a first down. If they are, that's a major play.
Yes, they are.
Too many men on the field, and that's an automatic first down.
Wow. So now the Pirates, with great field position at the 31-yard line. Tremendous turnaround here. A lot of pressure on the Hersey defense as the Pirate offense stays out on the field. They keep it on the ground.
Great defensive play.
Milizewski, Rob Milizewski making the stop. Brown on the carry. And they will lose about a yard on the play.
Boy, you got to think if you're Palatine, that's the time to go for the big strike. But again, they come back to the run. Great defensive play. Milizewski having an outstanding game, number 66, as he made the one-on-one tackle. Still trying to figure out that too many men on the field penalty because there was one guy running off. He was about 2 yards away from the sidelines when the play started. I did not see the near ref call the penalty, and if they called it on him for just being 2 yards away from the sidelines, that is a very poor call.
Second down, 11. Heklinski finally got rid of the football. And it was incomplete. Intended for Tim Gleason, the tight end, and that was a coverage play.
Had pretty good protection, had plenty of time to find his receivers, and you got to credit the Hersey defensive backs with outstanding coverage. Heklinski had time to look for first, second, maybe even a third receiver, and really couldn't find anybody open.
Well, I'll tell you, John, if they can come away with the football or come away from this situation with not allowing any points, that's a real tribute to their defense, especially after that penalty. We'll see what they do. Third down and 11. About 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 7. Heklinski, incomplete. It was intended for Dave Sobel. Real good coverage by John Jerza, the defensive back who was with Sobel, and he forced Heklinski to thread it. It was too low, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Interesting decision coming up for Palatine now. Do you let Jeff Heklinski go for it, or do you punt and back the Hersey team up? I think they will go for it. There's a look at the stats. That's his second game in a row now, where really the Palatine offense has struggled. First 4 games, they were unstoppable.
4th and 11, and they spend a timeout. So Heklinski didn't like what he saw, and
Yeah, it's right now. Not the Palatine offense we saw the first 4 games of the season. They look a bit disjointed.
there's a break in the action at Hersey High School. 5:38 to go in the fourth quarter. We are tied at 7. Don't go away. All right, we are back. Bert Groner and John Cohn. 4th and 11 for the Pirates. They will go for it on the Hersey 32. We're tied at 7. Heklinski
Too much
with
time.
time to the air. Incomplete. That was intended for Bechtold, and he would have been out of bounds had he caught it. The defense holds, and the Huskies are a fired-up football team here with a chance to knock off a state-ranked team.
And one of the best defensive efforts we've seen this season, or maybe any other season, being put in by the Hersey defensive unit. The entire game with their backs to the walls, they have stopped Heklinski, J.D. Williams, and the Palatine offense. And that penalty could have been a crusher. It would have been very easy for the defense to wilt at that point. But again, they hold.
First down. Couts, Jim Couts, straight ahead for a couple. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here.
Hersey would love nothing better than to control the clock and work it all the way down the field. At that point, the worst you could do was tie.
Travaglio is to the right, Beck to the left. 2nd and 8.
Thing you want to avoid right now if you're Hersey is the turnover. Palatine defensively looking to cause the turnover.
Carlson with a nice run. He'll be a couple of yards short of a first down, but he gets it across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
And the Hersey coaches on the sidelines yelling for either a late hit for a face masking penalty, but Carlson picking up a good gain.
Pat Richards, number 31, will make the stop, and let's see if he gets a hold of the face mask of Carlson.
Boy, look at the offensive line just taking charge there.
Well, I think he did. I think he did. That was in view of the official, but they elect to let it go. 3rd and 1.
Normally they go to Jim Messer, number 26, for short yardage.
And that's who gets it. Fumble on the play. There's a fumble on the play.
Either way, he's going to be short, and Hersey will have to punt the ball away. So a very tired Hersey defense. You see the Palatine players in the sidelines waiting for the call from the ref.
And that'll bring up 4th down. 4th.
Big call right here. Very tempting, I'm sure, for Bruce